This is Professor Mike Ventola from Sandhills Community College, bringing you Grass of the Week. Welcome to Grass of the Week number 11. Today we're going to talk about Bahiagrass and Dallisgrass, two grasses that are not prevalent in fine turf. You probably wouldn't plant them. Bahiagrass is planted on roadsides sometimes in North Carolina. Dallisgrass is a pretty prevalent weed, so that's why I had Mary Ellen and Rick on the sprayer in the intro. So this is commonly where you're going to see both Bahiagrass and Dallisgrass, these seed heads coming up. This has been planted. Pretty much this was specced out for roadsides in North Carolina because it was one of the few warm season grasses that would come up from seed. Oftentimes you'll see a scraper have to come and scrape this area off, and it gets quite messy, but they want water to be able to drain off these roads. They make quite a mess, but they put Bahiagrass seed down because they know it's going to come in quick. It's got that real aggressive purple stolon, and then any of those open spots, Dallisgrass is going to come in. I also want to mention, I want to thank NC State, Fred Yelverton and the guys up there with their turf files. A lot of the pictures here are used from there because they're warm season grasses, and I'm making this in the middle of winter. So thanks to NC State and their turf files. And you can get a lot of these pictures and a lot more information about turf grass at turf files. So Bahiagrass is rolled. It has this stout purple stolon, which you can see right here. That's one of the very important identifying features. It's very, very dense. It would be very difficult to hit a golf ball out of. Hair blade. Again, the low maintenance roadsides, like the picture that I showed you, the seed heads are really going to give it away. The seed heads come up very quickly on both Dallisgrass and Bahiagrass, and you're going to need to be able to tell the difference of those two for the exam in this course. There's the seed head. For the Bahiagrass, you can see that it comes up and out like a Y. That's going to be very important. On the other grass, it's going to come up in alternate, but this is pretty much opposite. You can follow through on the book on page 12 and 13 with our next thing. I had mentioned that it was rolled. The book basically keys it out both rolled and folded. So, but you can see it's mostly rolled. This is a great picture from Turf Files, but it might flip in your hand. So again, these things are not distinct. So it should key out both ways, and you can see there's a lot of variability in there. The ligule is membranous with dense white hairs. No auricle. Growth habit has stolons and rhizomes. Again, another reason it's planted on roadsides is its aggressive lateral movement. Open sheath. Collars continuous with edge of hairs. The blade is sharp, pointed, and hairy along the edges, and the seed head has this characteristic Y shape. So that's what we talked about. It goes up and out, and that'll be one of the things you'll be able to tell on a roadside because it's not going to be mowed as much as fine turf. But neither of these grasses are going to make good fine turf. Purple crown, and again, with this will kind of morph into this big, large purple rhizome eventually. You can see pretty active growing roots on this sample, and that's pretty common of this grass in the summer in North Carolina. Here's a closer up of the hairs and also the blade. So it does look folded a little bit here. So the seed head, again, I think is going to be your major identifying feature for that grass. Our next grass is pretty much more a weed. I would say they're both a weed. The definition of a weed, again, is a plant out of place. So A weed is a lot of state of mind. A corn plant in my putting green is a weed, and Bermuda grass in a cornfield is also a weed. So you need to set your standard. Dallas grass probably for most people will be considered a weed, and you can see that this is kind of an alternate habit where we'll have different, almost foxtail-like seed heads coming off at different angles. This is a common perennial weed in turf. It's very difficult to control on thin turf in athletic fields. It's going to require multiple applications of an arsenic herbicide in the spring, or 3 steps: arsenate, sulfonylurea, herbicide. So it's unsightly, particularly in a good turf. It's going to come in when we have thinning. It's difficult to get out. If you have small amounts, cutting it out is one way of doing that. But if you're going to go a chemical method, it's going to take persistence to control Dallas grass. There's a key to follow through on page 13. I like this picture quite a bit. It's a rolled grass. The ligule is membranous, 5 millimeters and pointed, and you can see that right in here, that pointed ligule. No auricles. You can see that here. No auricles. Growth habit. Short rhizomes, not like the previous grass, but it will have short rhizomes and will kind of edge itself out, kind of like a tough crabgrass in a lot of ways. Split sheath. Continuous collar. Broad, flat, and creased. So this broad, flat leaf is going to stick out. Even in tall fescue, it's going to be broader than tall fescue, and it's going to be unsightly from that picture, as you saw. The seed head is a raceme, hairy spikelets on alternating branches. So Dallas grass is alternating with its seed head. And there's another NC State picture, and you can see this is in Bermuda grass, and it's going to just form these tufts that don't mow as well, don't have good texture, and really are going to destroy the uniformity of any fine turfs you would want to grow as a professional turf manager. There's that alternating seed head again. You can see that picture. Again, thanks to the NC State guys. And I'll leave you with the North Carolina roadside. So if you need to get samples of this grass, most any roadside in the country in North Carolina will have both Dallas grass and Bahiagrass. So that's it. A short one this week, and I'll talk to you next week. The Grass of the Week music is the Sand Hills Community College Jazz Band, directed by Tim Haley.